don't give a fuck about
Just make it two. Just make it two. I just make it two. Just make it two.
I don't give a fuck about the
What up, y'all? It's your boy, Eagle Eye Miller. Welcome back to the channel, man. Thanks for showing y'all love, y'all support, viewing the videos, commenting. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead, tap that like button, tap that subscribe button. Hope everybody having a good day, had a good weekend. Today out here to, you know what I'm saying, talk some, you know, just chop it up with y'all for a little bit. So today I want to talk about what happens or what you should do when they break policy. And when I mean they, I'm referring to these companies, these corporations, these businesses, the people you work for. Because I see it like this, when these motherfuckers break policy, who holds them accountable? Regionals, district managers, the CEO? Probably not. Nobody holds them accountable the way they hold us workers accountable, you know what I'm saying? And then when we stand up for ourselves, then we have to deal with the retaliation part of it, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, you go to orientation, you know, for a new job, and they sitting there and they telling you all the rules and what you got to do and the success you can have in the company. Y'all really need to pay attention on, y'all need to be able to read between the lines of what that really means. Because if you listen closely, these companies and these businesses, these people, these corporations is telling you, as long as you know what I'm saying, abide by the rules and you play nice and, you know, you kiss ass, you'll get to where you want to. But if you go against us, then you won't have a job, or, you know, we might give you a bad reference. I've had managers specifically tell me that in AP. I've had my ETLs tell me, look, if you know what I'm saying, go up against us, like, you won't have an AP career. So I already knew I had to choose, you know what I'm saying, what route I wanted to take. You know what I'm saying, what I wanted to do with it, how I wanted to go about it, you know what I'm saying? And then that also taught me, like, who they were as a person, who they are as a company, and what to look for. And it was a major red flag. But anyway, they go over all these rules and policies and shit like that. Right? You start working, and over time you start seeing shit, funny shit that's against policy. You know what I mean? You might see it one time, you like, shit, all right, whatever. And then you start seeing it more often. And these companies aren't following their own policies, they need to be held accountable too, is what I'm saying. And how you do that is a process. And it ain't an easy process because they are going to retaliate. Expect it. It's just like a fight. It's just like a banging session. You know what I'm saying? You gonna swing, they gonna swing back. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, these corporations, they worth billions, millions of dollars. They're not just gonna sit there and just let you beat on them. They gonna swing back too. You know what I mean? Just know that. But just know when you make the decision to take on these corporations, when you fed up and you ready to go and you ready to bang with them, you know what I'm saying? And you ready to take this shit to court, hey, take the gloves off and apply that pressure on them, for real. Because they hold us accountable every time we late for work, right? Job performance, you know what I'm saying? In all these areas. But they act like they so perfect as a company, as a management team. These motherfuckers ain't perfect. And that's the whole point of holding them accountable too. They mad because trucks ain't done in 2 hours like they want to. Well, guess what? You need to hire more people. You want me to work faster, but you pay me, I mean, the minimum wage, the lowest amount you could pay me. Don't let these businesses, don't let these corporations, these businesses you work for run you over. They need you more than you need them. Yeah, you need a check to pay your bills, but they need you to work, to make profit. to help build that rep, that brand. Know your value in the workplace. If you have certain skills and certifications that you bring to that job, understand the game. You are worth more than what they telling you and they paying you. You know what I'm saying? Now, some inexperienced people want to start off making $24, $25 an hour. It ain't gonna happen like that unless you know somebody who owns their own damn business and they can hook you up like that. But the way I was taught is you supposed to outwork the man next to you to earn that spot on the job. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you like this from experience: when you good at what you do, the money and everything else is gonna come with it. So don't do something just because of the money and, you know, all that other materialistic shit that come with it. Be the best at what you do. Have pride in it. You know what I'm saying? Passion. For real. Because that's going to keep the people coming back more. Your customers is going to come back more and again, and then they're going to be the word of mouth, and then they're going to bring in more customers, which is going to bring you more profit. You feel what I'm saying? Understand your value. You got managers that'll talk down on you, talk to you crazy, tell you we don't need you, we'll find somebody else. Just straight disrespectful. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't got to take that shit as an employee. There are resources you can use. If you still want to keep your job, there are resources you can use to hold him accountable while keeping your job. They just won't tell you everything in orientation because it's a lot to cover and it's a lot, you know, to go into. So they'll just bring up things like EOC, but they won't really tell you exactly how the EOC works. They'll just kind of, you know, go over it a little bit of like how they work and what they do, and then they'll move on. You feel what I'm saying? But once you get in, you need to start understanding and knowing the policy and how things work. Start learning everybody's position, what they can do, what they can't do, what they can say, and what they can't say to you. Because the more you know, the better you will be at defending yourself in the workplace. These managers can't talk down on you, talk crazy to you, harass you. They most definitely can't harass you. And if you're being harassed every day, you need to go ahead, start the process, and get him, start holding him accountable. It don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people won't do, you know, they won't stand up for themselves because they afraid of being retaliated against, and that's gonna come. That's part of being, you know, in the banging shit. Like, they gonna retaliate. That's just what they do. You know what I'm saying? But it is against the law for a company business to retaliate against you because you're standing up for yourself. So don't be afraid of them scare tactics that these companies use. You know what I'm saying? To prevent you from standing your ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, they gonna threaten your job, or, you know, if you had a job, they might try to cut your hours or have you working somewhere else. Document all that shit, and you can show it, and because at that point it's proof of them retaliating against you. Okay, yeah, I've been, you know, getting 40 hours for the last year. Now I started standing up for myself. Now I'm only getting 24 an hour. You know what I mean? 24 hours a week. You know what I mean? Sign of retaliation. You know what I mean? Oh, I've been working on the sales floor, you know what I mean, for the last year. Ever since I started standing up for myself, they got me working outside, pushing carts. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. Y'all gotta wake up, pay attention. These companies, they will use pretext reasons to justify their behavior. I promise you, they will use pretext reasons all day, and it sounds legit, but it's not. It's just to cover up for the real reason why they are doing the shit that they are doing to the people that's working for them. Understand your value in the workplace. Go in there with your head held up high, chest out, you know what I'm saying, ready to work, you know what I'm saying? And if they come at you on that bullshit, be ready to fight. If they retaliating against you, somebody's discriminating against you, you working in a hostile environment, you ain't gotta put up with that. Use your resources. I hear people complain on a day-to-day basis about how they hate going to their job. Some of them go in late on purpose just because they know the bullshit they about to put up with. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to understand that these managers, just because they have the title of a manager doesn't make them more valuable than you. Just because they make more money than you doesn't mean that they can talk to you and harass you the way that they do. That's not how the game works. So, understand y'all value. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, these companies are quick to hold the workers accountable for performance, for punctuality, and all these other things. Not doing the job right, not being in the assigned work area. All these little different rules they have for employees to try to control them and keep them in line. But what happens when they're not doing it? Who's gonna hold them accountable? I can tell you what, the people, y'all, us, we have the power to hold them accountable. We just don't do it because they use these scare tactics and they retaliate against us and they throw us off our game. What you don't know is what they're gonna play off of. And if you don't know the policy, they're gonna play off that. I don't work with managers who were sleeping with girls inside, the same store. And because him and this female ain't working out, now they trying to find a reason to fire him, a pretext reason, which could be something like attendance, which is something that's all common. So it's something that seems legit. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, she gone. And her head, oh damn, they got rid of me because of attendance, not knowing that was the pretext reason they got rid of you. The real reason they got rid of you is because the nigga you was sleeping with didn't want you there no more. And that is a fucking problem. So, that's just how the game works. But put your foot down, you know what I'm saying? Use your resources. If you see, bad behavior when it comes to management, you know what I'm saying? You see discrimination going on, you see retaliation going on, document that shit. Because in order to show and prove, retaliation, discrimination, you have to show a pattern. You know what I mean? You have to show a pattern of that same behavior. Sometimes it won't be the exact same thing, but it's still discrimination. It's still the same thing. It just works differently. You know what I mean? Like, if you can show that there's a pattern of the same behavior of discrimination, retaliation, and all that, like, you're gonna have a case. Learn the policy, y'all. If you know what I'm saying? If you going in there, you need to learn the policy. The less you know, hey, it's gonna be bad for you. Because they're gonna play you off some shit that is against their policy. And if we don't hold them accountable, they're gonna keep doing it. They're gonna keep getting away with it. And a lot of these cases with employees getting fired and these companies doing employees wrong, in the worst ways, y'all is never gonna hear about them because 95% of these cases get settled in court. 95% of these cases get settled in court, which means us, as the public, we will never get to hear these cases because these corporations has paid these people to shut up and be quiet. And part of these settlement agreements is, not putting these companies out on blast, not giving these companies a bad name. In return, here's some money, go on about your business. So, just think about all the dirt that these companies do but we never get to hear about because they paying these people to be quiet. So, with that being said, remember, hold your ground, stand your ground. Don't let these managers talk to you crazy, harass you, make you feel like you less than. Just because they have the title doesn't mean they have the right to treat you like shit. Use your resources. If you see a pattern, you need to start documenting that. What time, when, where, what, who, when, all that shit. It's time to start holding these managers and these corporations accountable just like they do to us. Because if we don't start standing up to them, they're going to keep getting away with the same shit over and over and over again. And it's going to happen to the next generation and the generation after that. So,
you gon' have to show me. Ayy, seen them off the cold core, under with it so cool. Hope they riding safe like they done got a Volvo. Drip, drip, drip. Money make them flip. Ayy, make it an exhibit when you gotta pimp the whip. Ayy,
with that being said, man, y'all have a good rest of the day. Smoke up, drink up, be safe. God bless. Till next time, I'll holler at y'all.
know I'm dripping every day. The road to success got me whipping every way. You know they ain't real.